early in the morning, 1 a.m., I just woke up. I looked on my phone, I had about 30 missed calls. I was like, what's going on? I pick up the phone, they said the factory is on fire. We lost almost $50,000 worth of equipment. The gentleman who actually helped stop the fire, I hired him to be the caretaker of the factory. Eventually stole almost 500,000 cedis worth of goods from us. I don't think it's a Ghana problem, it's a human nature. People take the path of least resistance.
Why did you not give up?
Derek, once again, it's just, I think it's part of the legacy that I was born into.
Fred, what do you think is the correct path to fulfillment? So are entrepreneurs made or born?
They are not made or born, they are nurtured.
Why is Africa struggling to rise globally?
Because we have, and it breaks my heart. Any problem in this world that money can solve is not a problem.
You're welcome to Konnected Minds podcast. My name is Derek Obaite, and I appreciate everything that you do for this podcast, your time for watching our episodes. If you haven't subscribed, please become part of the family. If you didn't know that we have episodes on Spotify and Apple, I'm going to drop the link in the description so that you can listen while you're playing golf, while you're on a treadmill, while you're doing something that you love. Today I have a conversation with Mr. Fred Ampedu. He owns Posa Industries. The man loves education. He's lived in Canada for some years, became a scientist, and has moved to Ghana to set up a business, Posa Industries. Mr. Fred, how are you?
I'm very well, Derek. And before you continue, you have a world-class studio.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed. Well done.
Thank you. My desire to keep improving is affecting me. Yes. So I keep getting different gears.
That's the scientist in you.
Yeah, I think so. I agree, 100%. So Posa Industries. Yes. Why did you start Posa Industries?
Ownership, Derek, ownership. We can't keep working for people the rest of our lives. At some point in time, you will have to own something and pass it on to the next generation. That's the reason why. Ownership, Derek. Simple answer.
But you do come from a poor family.
My grandma, my dad's mother, was what they could term a stark illiterate. She didn't go to school. But at one point, she was the founder of the largest market in West Africa at some point. And those who are old enough, I think it's still around, they used to call it Tema Station, TS. They used to sell second-hand goods. Yeah, so she founded it. 1972, a single mom with 3 kids had built a 6-bedroom house in Accra. So that's the sort of family I was born into. So ownership has been passed down from generation to my dad's generation, my aunt's generation, and now it's our time. So ownership, Derek.
Have you benefited from what grandma did?
Yes. My dad is an MBA, LLB, chartered accountant, MBA in finance. He said when he went to university in India, the principles they taught them in India as an MBA student, her mother, illiterate, was practicing those principles. So growing up with her, we lived with her till she passed away. I think she passed away 2 days later. We left for Canada in 2000. Yeah, those principles were invaluable.
We don't hear that many success stories of women these days, do we?
No.
Or maybe they don't tell the
story. Or they don't tell the story, that's it. Because I was brought up by a market woman, I hang around the market even to this date. I was telling you a story about my aunt who passed away 3 months ago. She was technically my mom. And fantastic businesswoman. Most people who go to Medina Market, she's the kingpin when it comes to hardware. Just one store built apartments, not apartments with an S. With just one store. Fantastic business principles. The way she does customer service, if you buy her stuff and you bring it back, she looks at it, it's okay. She gives you your money or just exchange it for you in Ghana.
You see, when you mention the topic of ownership,
yes,
don't you think it's also a scam?
A scam to who?
It makes us work too much. And the people sometimes we leave things to, they don't even appreciate them.
That's not your concern.
Okay.
It shouldn't be your concern. You you know how some people say, oh, and I'll go to pee a little bit. Yeah, let's say the people who came ahead of you didn't do anything for you. Now it's your turn. What are you doing for the next generation? It's only poor people who tell themselves that we still have Rockefeller family, the Carnegie family, Trump's family, who's less stuff for him, Mr. Trump,
the Rockefellers,
for his children. The trained mind who's been trained about ownership doesn't think like that. My grandmom left the shop to her daughter, who is my aunt. This is over 100-year-old shop, and it's now at 10. And Derek, trust me, we won't let that shop collapse, and we'll leave it on to the next generation.
How did they do it?
That's what I'm saying. They bring it when you are born. When we were kids, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, when we come from the market, me, my brother, my sister, others, the cousins, we sit down, kids. You, Fred, all kind 1 cedi, count 1 cedis. You count 2 cedis. So they introduce you to money early. Money is not mysterious. Money is not mysterious. It's human beings who go and get money. So it doesn't become mysterious to you. You know it's by your hard work that you get money. So they introduce you early. They teach you all these principles. When you get the money, use some for sure, kakra, but keep a bulk of it. You understand? So when they introduce you early, my own daughter, that's what we started with her. When we go for dinner every night at my dad's place, my dad, my mom, her, me, do you know what we talk about? Our businesses. Oh, we got this money. Oh, this is going here. Oh, this tradesman came and did this. We didn't like what he did. I think next time we should do it this way. Do you know why? We are teaching the young girl that in time, when we are no longer around, it will be your turn. So somebody has left it for you, so you don't squander it.
There are families in Ghana. They own so much as a family.
Yes.
And now the first generation of owners are struggling to get posterity to carry on. I'm shocked how your parents were able to do it. It's very admirable.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. You know, I'm a product of both worlds. The Western educated family, my dad, and then my grandmom and my mom, my aunt, who they said didn't go to school. You understand? But then what they do is they don't keep those two separate. At every point, there's communication going on. So you understand and appreciate that what they are giving to you is not for you. You are just a custodian in your time. Take care of it. Don't squander it because it's not yours. It started from somewhere. You are now the custodian. You have to pass it on to the next generation. I think the disconnect is most of these very rich families, they let their kids focus initially on just the schooling. My daughter is 8 years old. She started going with me to the factory when she came to Ghana when she was 5. When there are some days off, I take her, press this machine. So she gets used to it. And she understands how hard dad is working to build this for her. And I'm telling you for a fact, she will not squander what will be left for her. She goes to school, but we don't disconnect the tradition from it. As I was telling you, when we go for dinner, my dad, my stepmom, who also runs a very successful shop at Medina Zongo Junction. She's the first electric shop owner at Medina Zongo Junction, doing it since 1990, still running to today. So we teach the kids.
Do you have like a family constitution?
No, really. It's just like English law. You know, they say England doesn't have a written constitution. It's just people learn more from communication than actually written word.
I mean, you were a scientist. SOPs
Yes.
will do a great job.
Yes, because SOPs, you are there, but what you tell the person, they learn it more than what you show them. You tell it to them and then you show it to them. Then they understand, oh, this is the reason why you are telling them. And if they forget, they can refer to this document. Because if that wasn't the case, then human knowledge, which wasn't written, would have disappeared from the face of this earth. Why do you go to some of these traditional homes, traditional rulers? They still have some of this tradition going on because it was spoken to them and showed them, and they pass it on from generation to generation.
Doesn't it become like Chinese whispers where, you keep telling one person and over time it loses its value?
That's what they tell us. It's not true. It's not true. Because at some point in time, the education will come in and it will be written down. And then we put it to scrutiny to make sure what is being done is the right thing.
And then you traveled abroad.
Yes, sir.
To go to school.
Yes, sir.
If your parents were doing so well here and they wanted you to also start something, as part of the family tradition, why did you have to go abroad
because
to study?
Generally, in this economic structure that we have, it is technically run from the Western perspective. So if you want to grow your business, you need to go to the West, if possible, and learn. I think that was the reason why they did that. And it's seen all across the globe. When we were in Canada, I had classmates from India, China, almost everywhere, because that has become a melting pot of people from all over the world. So the education from the Western, like going to Canada, the education was one, but also I think the network was invaluable. Because now as I'm sitting here, I have friends from all over the world. If I need something, I can call somebody in China on my phone, a classmate in Japan, a classmate in Australia, a classmate in mention. I think that's the most valuable thing I learned and I got from going abroad. Network. And then also, now the mystery of the white, the white man doesn't, they are not mysterious anymore. Because you live in their system, you know what their capabilities are. So I think it was the right decision, hindsight, that they took me there. Because also, let me tell you something, this is history. Back in the days, when audition or a nest of kin is born, if you want to defeat your, let's say the person who rules over you, what you used to do is you say, Derek, let's say you are my son, I'm the ruler. I want to defeat, let's say, the one who rules over us. I take you to go and study their ways, how they do things. And then you bring the person back because now he understands how their machination works. That's the only way you can defeat them. But where we as Africans, we fell short is when we went, majority of us didn't come back. And that's where the Chinese, I think they did a tremendous job of it. Those they sent, a good chunk of them went back. And Turkey are doing the same thing too. Those they sent to Germany, a good chunk are back in Turkey. That's why now you see Turkish products are all over the place. But our people, unfortunately, went there and got caught up.
Why are we not coming back?
People human beings generally will take the path of least resistance. It's human nature, it's not a race thing. But for some weird reason, our people like the path of least resistance. Derek, I, for one, the challenges we've gone through doing this business, I'm a different man from when I started this 2014. But most people are not built to withstand these challenges. So they're like, here I have a job, I have a nice home, can drive my Porsches. Why do I have to come here and come and stress? Let's stay here and live our life. So that's why I'm saying the upbringing and the fact that ownership for my family was the reason why I said I can't stay here and just work my whole life. I have to own something.
Wow. So if you had something to say to the young man who has acquired so much skills and is stuck abroad, what would it be?
Fellow gentleman, fellow lady, Ghana is a fantastic country. Don't let anybody lie to you. I've had the opportunity to drive as far out to Atuabo, at Wabo Gas Terminal, that's in Western region, gone as far as Ho, gone as far as Tamale. And wherever you go, people treat you well. And Derek, I'll be driving 2 a.m. at night. Maybe it's naivety. I'm not afraid that somebody will rob me or anything. And when you come here initially, there's some challenges. But if you're able to ride the challenges, Derek, as I'm talking to, I never knew, look at the sort of people you've had sitting in your chair. The caliber of people you've had sitting in your chair. I never thought I'll be sitting here in under 3 years. So if you want your name to be out there, to people to feel the impact of what you have learned, look back home, wherever you are, not just Ghana, Togo, Benin, any other African country. That's where your impact will be felt.
You have such an impressive thought process. What? The way you put your words together, I think I'm here, but I'm coming back here.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's a very good way of, summing this. I really want to understand. Are you doing this for yourself or for your family?
I'm doing it for myself and my family. Nobody does anything in vacuum. Derek, what you are doing is not for yourself. It's for yourself and your family. Because you are a chain. People came before you. This is your turn. You're doing it for yourself. And then your children will take it from where you are and then continue. So it's for yourself and your children. That's how people are supposed to think. Everything that you do, look, people underestimate the power of decision. Human beings are all decision. Human beings are all decision. So everything you do is at times sit down and look at, if this decision that I take, how is it going to affect me and the people before me and the people to come after me? Things will be easy for you. Every decision.
That's the correct path of living life.
Yes. Every decision you make is for the people before you and the people to come. And not just you, your cousins, because that's how Africa we've lived. Nuclear families was just introduced by a foreign power. We've always been extended family. That's why, like Akans, we don't have a word for cousins. Minya. We don't have that. My Misewa, my father, a female father. My aunt, my mom's male, my male mom. We've never had this thing.
Let me stop you here for a minute. We are on a journey of changing the minds and the lives of people. So if you haven't subscribed and become part of the family, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you. Now let's carry on with the conversation. You've done great educating yourself abroad, and then finally you made a decision that I want to come back home. Who made you, or what reason did you have?
Okay, first and foremost, in 2010, for some rare reason, I started to do more research on African history around 2010. So, there was this professor, he passed away in 2015. His name is Professor Yosef Ben Yekanan. He's one of the topmost Egyptologists, African Egyptologists. So I started to research on him. So it was when I started reading his books, I realized that we've been lied to for all these years, from religion to engineering to science. I was like, Africans are really great, So I was still reading his, and then one time when I got my second job, my dad asked, so Fred, this job that you're doing, what do you do? And I told him we make this and that. My father was a very big Afro optimist. He believes in the promise of Africa. He said there's no place greater than Africa. Like, Fred, this thing that you know how to make, it to be of better value for Ghana and beyond. So think about bringing this business or your know-how to Ghana, and that's what started this journey. And we've been at it, different versions. We come here every year with our raw materials. You know how every environment is different. The West is quite dry. Ghana is very humid. So the way you process raw materials in the West is different from how you process it in Ghana. So I started coming, try and error. It will go to market, it won't work. To go to market, it won't work. While we're preparing to build our factory. So by 2017, we had bought a prefab prefab is prefabricated warehouse. We bought it from China, brought it here. And then my business partner, who is also my brother called Kofi, came to Ghana, built the prefab. And then we ordered our equipment, raw materials, we bought everything. Then my senior brother, who I think I shared that story.
Yep.
Yes, he was the one who sacrificed his schooling that, Fred, I think you have something, you are greater than I am. So you go, and then I'll stay home and work and pay like your rent and stuff like that. So he came with me, and then we came and set up the factory, and then we started production. But I don't know if, Derek, I should share one story with you.
Let's go.
As soon as the raw materials came, the next day, early in the morning, 1 a.m., I just woke up. I looked up on my phone. I had about 30 missed calls. I was like, what's going on? I pick up the phone. They said the factory is on fire. The next day, the day the raw materials came, the next day, they said the factory is on fire. How's the factory on fire? We hadn't connected. There's no electricity there. It's just a warehouse with raw materials and equipment. How's the factory on fire? We were able to cool, stop the fire. Fire service came. They said, it's spontaneous combustion that caused the fire. I'm like, how is that possible? The one with the chemical of the least spontaneous combustion that with heat can explode is 180 degrees Celsius. I don't think you can get 180 degrees Celsius in the factory, but we had a fire. I always say I share this story. I was in the washroom crying. My wife came and saw me crying in the washroom. She's like, what's going on? I told her the factory's on fire. She said, did anybody die or anything? No. It's unfortunate. We lost almost $50,000 worth of lab equipment and equipment. 2 of my mixers got burned to ashes. Yeah, lab equipment, almost everything. Tools for fixing like cars and everything. Compressors, all burned. We dusted ourselves off. And then we continued. Brought in more raw materials. And the gentleman who actually helped stop the fire, I hired him to at least be the caretaker of the factory. Eventually stole almost 500,000 cedis worth of goods from us. Yeah, so unfortunately it became the government of Ghana versus him. So he was jailed for about 1.5 years. But we dusted ourselves off and keep continuing. People will say, why do Ghana is Ghana? People steal. I don't think it's a Ghana problem. It's a human nature. As I say, people take the path of least resistance. So if Derek, you and I are around, and I look around, nobody's checking. If there are no checks and balances, people take the path of least resistance. So if I look around, Derek is not paying attention. If he has a phone, I'll grab it and go. It's not just Ghana, it's worldwide. That's why we went to China. As soon as you step out of your hotel room, your hotel room, even like your hotel room, the hallways has cameras. You walk on the street, it has cameras, because when humanity, we are left on our own, we have the propensity to do horrendous or outrageous stuff. So it's not just a Ghana problem. We had some lapses around, that's why that happened, but we corrected it and we keep going. The fire that we had, another one happened January 3rd this year. I was there in the office alone, and then explosion. I looked around, got out. I'm like, am I going to let this ownership burn to pieces? I said no. I went in the burning warehouse with fire extinguishers, managed to calm it down before people came and helped. And then we made changes. Once again, root cause analysis. We realized that the heat is one of the reasons why it's causing that. So we made changes, put in some extractors, and moved that particular raw material that we think is susceptible to heat. We built another warehouse, which is very ventilated, and we moved everything there. And we know we've solved the problem, so it won't happen again.
One thing that most people who have never started a business probably do not know is that there's a skill that you are going to end up mastering. It's problem-solving skills. And as a scientist, you do that a lot.
Yes.
And I think it's really helped you.
Yes.
I'm sorry you had to go through all of this, but business is hard, isn't it?
Business is hard. There are nights I go to bed around 1 a.m., 3, 4 a.m. I'm up. People send me messages at 2 a.m. They're like, Mr. Fred, you don't sleep. I'm like, yeah, money doesn't sleep. So if you send me a message, I have to be responsive. That's one thing. At times, that's the challenge I think we have here. Yeah, you have to be responsive.
You see, Mr. Fred, you had an idea about business before you left Ghana.
Yes.
And in between, when you visited back home, there's still business that was giving you some, a few ideas about how business is. And then you travel abroad, stay there, work, and, you had a really high-paying job.
Yes.
And decided to come back to Ghana to do your own thing.
Yes.
I guess family tradition. Facing all these challenges. Why did you not give up?
Derek, once again, I think it's part of the legacy that I was born into. I think because we've always been entrepreneurial. My dad's side. My dad, as I said, is a top professional. But he's had businesses. He's run a hotel a couple of times. Now what he does is builds apartments and then rents it out, stores and rents it out. And he's still working.
How old is he?
72, 70 something.
Wow.
Yeah, he's still working. While his friend and his colleagues are all long retired, still working. My aunt just passed away 3 months ago. She passed 2 months of staying home. She passed away. She was 83.
Wow.
My grandmom passed away at 103, 5 years after retiring. So 96.
Fred, how many siblings do you have?
8.
Are they all entrepreneurial?
That's actually a good question. Actually, I have a sister. At one point, she had the largest e-commerce rings, chains in Ghana at one point. I think she still does. Yeah.
So out of the 8 siblings?
And then I have another young sister. She's our last born. She's a mechanical engineer, GPA 4.0.
Okay.
Brilliant. She's also an entrepreneur.
Right. So out of the 8, let's say there's only 3.
Yes.
Great.
Actually, another sister 4.
All right. So 4.
Oh, yes.
So let's say 4 of your siblings. So half.
Yes.
50%.
Yes.
Are entrepreneurial.
Yes.
So are entrepreneurs made or born?
I think entrepreneurs are nurtured. They are not made or born. They are nurtured. So because of the upbringing and me seeing that's all they did, by default, subconsciously, you've seen them doing it. You know the pain that comes with it, but then also the reward if you get it right. So you are nurtured into it. So you see it, it's time. Even all my siblings, who I say the other 4, bet you me 5-10 years time, if you talk to them, I'll tell them they are now all entrepreneurs.
Why do you believe so?
Because they see it. They saw it, they see their mom doing it, they see me doing it, they see other siblings doing it. So because you see it, it's just natural.
Why did they not do it before?
Because I think it's just time. When I went to Canada, I wasn't an entrepreneur till I decided in 2014 that this is what I wanted to do.
But every story you've told me today, this is your real life story.
Yes.
Proves that you had the seed in you from the beginning.
Yes.
Did you guys not have the same upbringing growing up?
Actually, similar upbringing, yes.
Okay.
So as I said, how everybody takes their path is different. Maybe mine started early, but I know for a fact that in time, theirs will also come into the entrepreneurial stream. It's just a matter of time. If you mark it on the wall.
I've marked it.
Yes.
All right.
In about 5-10 years, you come here, so I'll tell you they are all entrepreneurs now.
The business you started in Ghana?
Yes, sir.
What was your startup capital?
Over time, the tax man be happy.
They'll be fine. This is cost.
Around,
we don't tax cost.
Around 500,000 US.
Over time,
over maybe 10 years.
Over a 10-year period, you've put in your personal income, your
and
personal
then,
money of over 5
I said it's a group of us, me, my wife, my big brother, and then my colleague Kofi. Yeah.
All right, and everybody's helping to support
Everybody
the business.
helping, but a chunk of it is more me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You've done fantastic.
Yes.
Now, this capital is coming from your work.
Yes.
You've worked for years
Yes.
in Canada.
And then also strategy.
Okay, talk to me about the strategy.
Okay, I think I've shared this on a couple of platforms. If you live in the West, the fastest way to get access to capital is through real estate.
Okay.
So initially, I purchased my first home in 2011. Back then, it was easier. You didn't need as much capital. But I was going to say something. I think it might not be appropriate, but I put in some hard work. Hard work. I was a professional. So I go to work from 7 to 3:30, come home, quickly go shower, sleep, and go to my second job as a factory hand at 9:30 to 6:30. I don't go home because where I was working was just a stone throw from my workplace. I did that for 1 year to raise the needed capital as a down payment for my first house, and that was what I needed. So you stay in the house because homes kind of appreciate
over time.
Yes. So that's your startup capital. So you put that money in as down payment, and then you watch it grow. So and then don't get emotionally attached to a house. People get emotionally attached to a house. It's a house. You are using it. It's a tool for you to get money. You understand? And this works for people abroad. So you stay in the house. You read the market. This is how much you bought the house. In X amount of years is worth this amount. Two things. Either you take the capital, sell it, take your money, invest it where you don't have to go borrow money. Vis-a-vis, that's Ghana. And then take some of the barest minimum and buy another house. Repeat that cycle before you realize that's the money you need to start a business.
I've said it on a few consultations that people should, if you live abroad,
yes,
and you want to be able to live in Ghana comfortably,
yes,
get some properties.
Yes.
Because when you're living in Ghana, your properties abroad will be able to support you.
Exactly.
So if you're trying to do a business here, and even, your business got bent.
Yes.
Twice.
Still going.
If you didn't have any investment back in Canada, you would have struggled.
And one more thing, insurance in Ghana too works. So if you have that, also get insurance.
Right.
Yes. Insurance in Ghana works. We've benefited from it twice. Yeah.
They actually came to your rescue.
Yeah, because we pay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Fred, what do you think is the correct path to fulfillment?
Entrepreneurship. Any problem in this world that money can solve is not a problem. Any problem in this world that money can solve is not a problem. Go get money, solve the problem. Think about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Break it down.
Any problem that money can solve is not a problem.
You just need money.
Get money and you solve the problem. If you are sick, you need X amount of money. Get that X amount of money. They take care of you.
But how do we get the X amount of money?
And that's why entrepreneurship comes in. Derek, people underestimate the power of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship runs the world. The global economy is entrepreneurship. We fight wars over entrepreneurship. Man is entrepreneurship. Because that's the economy right there. Tell me any business in this world that is not entrepreneurship. Tell me one. You had the interviewer, but there's none. Entrepreneurship is the path to fulfillment.
How about how hard it is?
Eric, everything is hard. Nothing in this world is easy. Everything. Even life. Why do we build shelter? We can walk around like animals. Everything. So have it in your mind. Maybe it's the research and development in me. Because if you do research, the number one character you build is acceptance of failure. Because most of the time, all the things you work on will fail. So I think maybe that has built that personality trait in me that you have to master accepting that everything is hard and failure comes with it.
What would be your best advice for the young entrepreneur coming up?
Know as many people as possible. If you see somebody walking in the street, somebody that you admire, don't be shy. Go talk to the person. And you'll be surprised I've met because of business. The beauty of business is you meet so many people. Big men, small men, in between, big women, in between. You'll be surprised how much they are willing to share. I've gone into offices of some of the biggest men. If you go there, keep quiet. You're not there to argue because if you know if you are really that brilliant, you'll be bigger than him or her. Keep quiet and listen to everything they tell you. Let me tell you a story. I worked for the second largest coatings manufacturer in the world. The largest in North America, the second largest in the world. When I got there, high-flying chemist, I met some older chemists there. When I went there, I kept quiet. They showed me how to make products. They had been working on this particular product for 2 years with zero sales. I went there, this is how we make it, this is how we do this is how we do this is how do we do it. And they went for a conference. I didn't argue, kept quiet. They were using, measurements. They add this, go and check it, add this, go and check. I knew that what they were doing was wrong. I just kept quiet. They taught me everything. They went for a conference in Cleveland, Ohio for 3 days. When they came, I solved the problem. Because all I did was, once again, the brilliance in me is I took different ratios of the raw materials, all types of raw materials. I built a spreadsheet, built a formula. So as soon as I punch it in there, it gives me the expected number to get. And when I do the lab work and it used to correlate. When they came, I solved it. When they came back, I solved the problem. 6 months, I joined in June. By the end of December, we sold $800,000 worth of good. The following year, 2.6 million, just me alone, outselling 30 chemists in North Carolina. Won me Chemist of the Year.
You're a very humble man, right? I was speaking to you on the phone and I said, I'm coming to your factory to come and look at it. And then you go, oh, it's a very small factory. It's a very small factory. And then I saw the videos and I saw the picture and I said, small factory. This is a huge factory. You've done fantastic. You believe in Africa.
Yes.
You believe in the power of us.
Yes.
Why is Africa struggling to rise globally?
Derek, because we don't put emphasis on science and engineering, and it breaks my heart. Let me tell you something. From 1990 to 1997, America produced the most number of engineers. 1997 to 2023, Russia didn't relinquish that position to China. China, from 2023 to now, China produces the most amount of engineers. Russia, 120 million people, produces 423,000 engineers a year. China, 1.2 or 1.3 billion, produces 500,000 engineers. Now, people ask me, why do we need engineers? Derek, if you step outside of your compound, or if wherever you are in Ghana, if you look outside, what do you see? You look on the background, what do you see?
Tiles.
Background, if you look on the land, raw land, what do you see? The color, what color is it?
Green.
That's the grass. What is the earth? What's the color of the earth?
Red.
Have you asked yourself why is it red?
No.
Because as an engineer or as a scientist, have you asked yourself why is it red? It's iron oxide. Ghana is abundant in iron oxide, but yet we import iron. That's why we need to train as many engineers as possible, because engineering correlates so strongly with economics. Look at China now. Now they've taken over the world as they're biggest, they're the largest producer of engineers. Now look at what the number of things, innovative products they are producing, Derek. So if you don't produce as many engineers and scientists as possible, we always lag behind. People will say, and do you know what shocked me the most? Do you know the country that has consistently been in top 5? If I tell you the country, you'll be shocked. Iran.
Wow.
Now you see why when this issue happened, they were able to stand on their 2 feet.
Let me stop you here for a minute. We are on a journey of changing the minds and the lives of people. So if you haven't subscribed and become part of the family, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you. Now let's carry on with the conversation. But how say young students that have, young science students, they've applied for jobs, they are not getting it. What path can they take?
Once again, that's what I'm saying, the science and engineering. I was looking for alcohol, food grade alcohol. From usually the one that we buy commercially runs between 96% and 99%. So I was like, why do I have to just alcohol? I have to import alcohol. We have our local alcohol producers. So I asked them, oh, if they can get me some. They're like, oh yeah, if this one is not mixed, we'll bring it to you. I have an alcohol meter at work at the factory, at the lab that I used to check. I told them, listen, if you bring the alcohol, I can check the purity and tell you if it's, don't worry, Fred, it's good. They brought it 55%. I said, oh, you guys mix it. They said, no, we got it right from the tap. You guys mix it, it's 55%. Okay, we'll bring another one, 50%.
Wow.
So I was like, what's going on? Now, I just went online and checked, how do you purify alcohol? What I realized was, now this is the engineering thing that comes in. I realized is the local manufacturers, when they are boiling the alcohol, they just put wood and they don't control the temperature. So they just have the fire burning. But to get a pure alcohol, the temperature range has to be between 78 degrees Celsius and 82 degrees Celsius. You understand? So all we did is our engineers to go out there, help these local people, just come up with a simple device. We put a thermometer at the top, control the temperature, and alcohol that will come. I did it in my lab. I was getting 90%, my small lab. And we have our engineers saying there is no job. We import, look at how much alcohol we import to Ghana, $2 billion. People don't know $2 billion of worth of alcohol. Our local manufacturers are here. People, our engineers, young engineers can go out there, partner with them, devise a simple device, just a kettle with a heater underneath, control the temperature. You are getting 95, 99% pure alcohol. Selling it like crazy. Our women who smoke fish, if you go there, you still have the old clay with fire underneath, smoking them. Our engineers, go out there, look at their process, see how you can make it better, make it cleaner. You can export this.
Some people don't want to accept these things, Sometimes you come up with a solution.
Once again, just before I don't lose train of thought, the red earth that I'm talking about, it's natural dye. There are some people who take the red, some of them is very, very, very red. They grind it, soak it in water, and put in white t-shirts in there. Over 2 weeks, you take it out, it's the color of the red earth. You wash it, it's natural dye. There's a big demand for natural dye products in the world. Right there. Our engineers, our scientists, looking for jobs.
So we are focusing on the wrong things, right?
Exactly. And one more, let me throw it, and some numbers out there for you to look. Sports entertainment. Sports is $5.83 billion annually. Recorded music is $23 billion. So let's say it's $1 trillion. Manufacturing alone is $16.8 trillion.
Wow.
Every year. So if you import, you are importing all the time. Yeah. Derek, is this rocket science? And people make it seem manufacturing is such a difficult thing. If you fry maize, you roast maize and grind it, it's manufacturing. Kellogg's, cornflakes, what is it made out of? Roasted peanut. It's all manufacturing. People think that a manufacturing site should be massive, like gigafactories. Most factories around the world is within maybe like the size of mine.
So we have to focus on adding value to products.
Adding value. Oh, Africa, we are rich. Yeah. Raw material producer. In this global economic structure, there is no raw material more expensive than finished goods. There's none. If anybody knows one should tell me, I'll stop what I'm doing. There's none anywhere. Look at even gold, raw gold. If I take the gold and design it and put my name on it, it's more expensive than the gold, raw gold. So if you continue to Derek, produce raw materials and we don't add value to it, and the only way we can see the value in our raw materials is to produce as many science and engineers as possible. I believe that Ghana, if we produce 150,000 engineers every year, over 10 years, all engineers will study African history from first year to fourth year. So that it grounds them. They know that the reason why they are being trained as engineers is to help our society. Derek, in 10 years, we'll see what Ghana will become. Because out of the 150,000 over 10 years, that's 1.5 million engineers. Are you telling me we won't get 2 or 3 people who are so brilliant that they will push our country forward? It's a numbers game. That's where other people, Russians, Chinese, Americans, Japanese, Koreans have mastered. We can do the same thing here. Engineering science is an applied skill. You don't, okay, I was a C student in university.
Right.
C student. But when we used to go to the lab, that was truly, truly fantastic. So when we went to industry, now the reason why I was a C student is something, just that's how I am, something that somebody has done. What is the interest in me? Because we know the results anyway. Now, when we have to come up with new products, oh my gosh. Things that were taking people 2 years, I did in 3 weeks. I am that great. And I have the awards to prove it. So if we can get so many of our kids, expose them to this, Derek, I'm telling you as a fact, it will change our society.
I have one big man who loves to watch my podcast.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure he's going to be watching this one as well. Big man. Senior, when you see this one and you want to have a chat with Mr. Fred about how we can progress on some of these topics in our country, please reach out and let's have this conversation. I mean, what you are saying is marvelous. It's amazing. We're having buildings breaking down. We're having people who are not qualified that are building products, whereas people can actually be trained and then, offer support for these people. But then it's not happening. The other issue is that you train people and they travel abroad. Look at our nurses. The UK took them all.
Once again, the African history that's not attached to engineering or the science of their program. African history has to be.
Their biggest problem is that they are not being paid well. That's what they say.
Okay.
They are not being remunerated well for the work they put in. Right. How do we solve that?
Okay, do you know, this will be controversial. Has anybody sat down and looked at the pay rates of people in Vietnam, China, India, and all those places? Has anybody done that? That's why I'm saying at times you have to look beyond just yourself and your comfort. Maybe easier said because they say, oh yeah, you went and lived abroad. But at times, as a society, that's where, Derek, you have to grab some people, at times you have to grab things by the horns and drag it. So if you think about just you and your well-being, so all doctors and nurses should leave the country. You forget your mom lives here, your parents live here. So that's what I'm saying. If we add the African history to things, Derek, it just becomes more than just you and your comfort. And Derek, these people who say Ghana is difficult, when you go abroad, give them 5 years. They'll be saying, at one point, I think when I was in Ghana, I think it wasn't that bad. I know so many of them. So many of them. So what has changed? Is the allure of living in the West that most people, I have people, even forget about money. There's this friend of mine who is doing so well, doing this fast clothes. She brings it from China, flips it. She told me, oh, she's leaving to Canada to, she says every day she makes around 3,000 cedis a day. Young lady, 22, 23, says she's leaving and going to Canada. I told her, madam, call your family in Canada. How many of them make $350 a day? You are leaving to go abroad because he wants to go do masters. I think they just say they are not getting remunerated well because they look at the short term. Oh, maybe one of their siblings or friend went to Canada within UK, within a year or two, they bought a house, this and this, but they don't look at the long-term game. How many people abroad have 2 or 3 homes? Best, like in your, let's say I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor. A doctor abroad, a doctor Ghana, over the lifetime, how many of them, let's say, owns 3, 4, 5 homes? Just look at yourself. 1 home abroad, big house, but the person in Ghana might have multiple homes, multiple apartments. Look at your cohort, what you do over time, not just maybe 5 years then.
There is a certain group of people, our own Black people, who become so attached to the Western principles. They don't want to come back home. In fact, some of those people, maybe they were born there. They don't even want to have anything to do with Africa. What do you tell them?
We have no problem with that because you can't change them. You don't put resources on things that you can change. You put resources on things you can change. There's still also a cohort of them who would want to come. we have to facilitate things and make it easier for those who want to come. There's nothing wrong with it. Immigration is going to be with people. As long as human beings are alive, there's going to be immigration. People will be moving around. Like, it's going to be with us. So those who want to stay there, there's nothing wrong with them. Though, if you are there, try and get as much as you can. If you say you are not going to come back, get as much as you can for you and your family. Those who are here, just understand that globally, only 3% of people move out of where they are born, globally. So if you are here and you're in your 20s, if you take 100 of you, only 3 of you will be able to move out. So make here comfortable for you. And if you make here comfortable and you want to go out, it's going to be easier. If you have the money and you want to go get visa and go abroad, it's easier.
At 14?
Yes, sir.
3 a.m.?
Yes.
On the 24th of August?
Yes.
My stepfather called me and I sat on his bed. The following morning, I was supposed to travel. My father was taking me abroad and he said, I'm so happy you are traveling. Your father is taking you abroad. While you're going, remember, this country is what made you who you are today.
Yes.
And when you go and things work out, remember, if it doesn't work out, this is where you come back to. That was the best advice I ever received.
I also heard the same thing before I left for abroad. My dad's big brother passed away 2013, told us the same thing. That's the legacy I'm talking about. They see you, they know you'll be better. Go and learn. As I was saying, they've taken you out there. Go and learn all the tricks. And bring it home. Make your people better. And I tell you, Derek, you are, even from your own expression, I think you enjoy living here.
Mr. Fred.
Thank you, sir.
Motivation or discipline?
Discipline.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
I think from my aunt. Unfortunately, she passed away. She was my mom. August. I was right by her when she passed away. She told me, Fred, work. In all things, work. I'm grateful for that.
Wow. But are you really fulfilled?
It's the best time of my life. And this coming from someone who, at one point in my career abroad, corporate card, unlimited corporate card, go to airport, you show your corporate card, you don't go through it, they have a special place for you. Managed over 50 people, worked from the coatings industry, fiber reinforced plastic. Fiber reinforced plastics is just what they use for making planes, Formula One cars, fiberglass, to oil and gas, to lubrication, to spray foam polyurethane, develops products for some of the largest companies in the world. Largest award-winning chemist abroad. And I'm saying best time of my life. Living in Ghana, you say something.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Derek, and it's a pleasure.
Yeah, I really appreciate you. We first met through our senior minds.
Salute to you,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah. He's the man of,
yes,
he's the legend.
Yes,
that's what we call him.
Yes.
And to my listeners and my followers, thank you so much for being a part of the family. And if you made it to the end, I'd like to know in the comments and know that you are one of my champions. Thank you. My name is Derek Abaite, and I'm out.